All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Lawson's Finest Liquids, and they are out of Waitsfield, Vermont, and this is their Super Lemonova. So they're calling this one a blonde ale with lemon zest. It comes in at 5.1% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is just under 3 months old. So got another beer here from Lawson's that I'm reviewing, and it's a bit different in that it's not a super hop forward beer, and it's not a beer with maple. I think I reviewed like 2 or 3 beers with maple from Lawson's, and then obviously a bunch of hop forward beers because that's what they're known for. So when I saw this, I was like, a blonde ale? American blonde ale with lemon zest? Sign me up. So they have a little spiel on the side of the can that we'll read at the end if I remember, just because it's not that important. It'll be in the description box if you really need to see it, but a lot of times I remember, sometimes I don't. I guess we'll see. Anyway, let's get it into the glass and see what we got going on here. So, a blonde ale with lemon zest. So this was their spring seasonal. They released this one back, I think, in like mid to late May, so I'm a little bit behind on it. Their latest seasonal that I saw was their Juice Stand, which is a blood orange IPA. I saw a very good friend of mine, a fellow beer tuber, Jesse, over at Bumpyisms, review that. And I wanted to pick it up, and I couldn't find it. But a couple days ago, I actually got a can of it. So I'll probably review that within the next month and check it out because Jesse really enjoyed it. I love blood orange beers. Blood orange IPA, sign me up. So does that look like a blonde ale? It does. Maybe not as blonde as you think. It's more orange. This definitely has more of like an old school, like hazy IPA look to it. It has that like yellow orange color. Yeah, it's murky, it's turbid, you really can't see through it. Let's be honest, it does not look like a blonde ale to me. It looks definitely more like an old school IPA. Almost a finger of this soap sudsy, bright white colored head. Doing a little bit of a swirl there, doesn't really do much. Yeah, I mean, you can see probably the shadow of my hand, nothing else through it, but more often than not, like a lot of blonde ales, they'll have nice vibrancy to the clarity. Look way different than this. So this does not look like a blonde ale to me, but they are brewing it with lemon zest and whatnot, so I don't know. But let's get a nose. Ooh, lemon for sure. Definitely has a hop kind of forward aroma. So it has like that lemon zest kind of zestiness, that zippiness, but then I'm getting nice like orange, kind of like a, they aforementioned blood orange, like a sweeter blood orange, like almost a tart blood orange. There's like smells like it could be tart, probably from the lemon zest. It has though the typical American blonde ale base where it's like biscuity and bready. Definitely picking that up in the aroma. A little bit like a floral grassiness as well. Touch of an earthiness. A touch of like a herbaceousness, almost like a basil or a thyme. I get that sometimes in like, hop forward, say hazies, but blonde ale with lemon zest? Not really. It smells good. It smells very refreshing. And that's, I think, kind of what they're going for with this beer. But it does smell very refreshing. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Nice. Very nice off that first sip. Not my favorite or anything, but I appreciate the fact that in the taste, despite the appearance and the nose, not really screaming blonde ale to me, full on, the taste is more blonde ale. Go back for another sip. Buying this is higher side of light into low medium body. It's nice, a little bit lighter, not watery per se. It's just a little bit lighter on its feet, so it makes it more refreshing. The mouthfeel, it's very crisp on the palate, like a moderate carbonation, quite clean as well. Super refreshing and crushable without question. The taste, first thing it hits me is that biscuity, bready malt character. Then it dives underneath the palate. So it's omnipresent. It's kind of with me the entire way. And then on the back of the palate kind of sneaks in and kind of finishes with like this slight biscuity, like grainy malt character. In between though, there's a lot of citrus going on here. Tip of the tongue, lemon zest, 100%. It has like a tartness to it, like a slight like tart kind of lemon kind of feel to it. After that though, sweeter, juicy blood orange, maybe a touch of like a ruby red grapefruit. As it continues on, the second half of the palate is really all about the hop character that isn't like a fruitiness. It finishes earthy, grassy, and floral, kind of in that order. This is full on dry. This beer is crazy dry, which if you follow the channel, you know I don't love dry beers, but I think it works for this style and this beer specifically. There's also a slight tartness that kind of hits on the back of the palate. Again, could be the lemon zest. There's a mild bitterness here, maybe more approaching like mild to moderate, but it's all about the dryness in this one. This beer is not too sweet. In fact, it's more dry than sweet, which if you're somebody who likes dry beers or even like, I'd say dry and bitter beers as opposed to sweeter beers, this would definitely be for you, especially if you like lemon zest and blonde ales in general. 5.1%, you can't tell. Yeah, this is nice. It's not blowing my mind. You can probably tell, like, I'm not enamored with it. I'm like not crazy or anything. But I think this is a nice beer. This is a nice, refreshing, easy drinking beer. That's pretty much where I'll leave this one. It's not amazing. It's not, horrible or anything. It's kind of in between where I think this is a solid, good beer. I do wish the lemon zest was maybe I don't wish lemon zest was a little bit more prominent, because I get it at the front of the palate with that little like zippy kind of zesty, lemon zest, but then also like a little bit of tartness, and then the tartness hits me on the back of the palate. I just, I don't love blonde ale, so maybe it's one of those things where it's just like the style doesn't really do it for me as a whole. But this is a very well-crafted beer, I can tell, especially the taste. The aroma and the appearance does not really scream blonde ale to me, but the taste 100% does. So yeah, I'm going to give it a rating here. I'm not going to give it 2 ratings. I'm just going to give it a rating, overall rating. So Super Lemonova from Lawson's, I'm just going to go 3.75 out of 5. I think that's the best I can do on this one. It's a good, solid beer. I enjoy it. Something different from Lawson's, which I appreciate. But let's be honest, they do hop-forward beers extremely well. I like their maple beer, so I probably stick to those more often than not. I hope that Blood Orange IPA is good, though, because, again, that's a hop-forward beer. And it has blood orange, and I love blood orange. So, again, 3.75 out of 5. Solid, good beer. I'd recommend if you like blonde ales or you like lemon zest and beers, check it out. I did remember to read the side. Anyway, it says, and of course it's black font on a dark blue background. Excuse me. This incredibly balanced, I'd say it leans more dry, but sure. Blonde ale is bursting with citrusy hop notes. Okay, that makes sense. That are complemented by a subtle twist of tartness coming from multiple additions of lemon zest. Yeah. No, they pretty much nail it outside of the balance. I still think it leans a little bit dry and bitter more so than sweet, but it's balanced to some degree. Price point availability here in the Buffalo, New York area, $13.99 a 4-pack. I think I paid like $3.69 or something for that can. Would I pay that again? I would not, but that's typical for Lawson's for a lot of their seasonals that are like lower ABV, like sub 6%, usually $13.99. Then you start getting at like the 7-8% realm, they're like $15.99. So it's not a bad price point. It's just I would never pay again personally because it's not an amazing beer to my palate. And availability is Lawson's. I think Lawson's has this one thing where it says like, on their website, they have a section where they do year-round seasonals, special releases. Then they have one that's like, I forgot, rotating, like the nine states they distro to, like rotating beer. And this was the beer for, I think it was April and May, or maybe it was May and June. But this was their seasonal, their spring seasonal release for those 9 states. So if you're outside of those 9 states, and I think they have them listed on the website, you probably can't get your hands on this one. I'm in New York State. We get most of their stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. Again, I think it's a solid, well-made, enjoyable blonde ale with lemon zest. Not setting a new standard, nothing over the top, but this is a good spring and summer beer. So if this sounds like your jam, pick it up. I would love to know what you think about this one. 5.1%. You really can't tell. Anyway, I'm out of here. Till the next one. Cheers.